Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the PSU LCS on this fine Sunday afternoon. So we're getting into another match, SanaPekoraWatanabe versus 2014, two of our playoff contenders. Up for it again. Once again, I am Sioka. We're just going first names, alright. Unlucky in either event. We're trying to get the pro draft link here, and we'll be good to go. Yep. Yeah, we got Vale in there. I think the support might be a permanent sub, so I'm not entirely certain on that one. Two bends. Yep. Sounds about right. I did the countdown up. But, yep, Kaisa band away. Still another strong AD carry. Gonna take some playmaking away from Vale at the AD carry position. Yeah, nothing super interesting here. And, I mean, this is a bit of an interesting game. 2014 has been doing very well in the last few weeks of play compared to a very slow start at the beginning of the split, whereas SPW, who started off very hot in the first few weeks, was actually our top team for quite a while, given buys and everything, has taken a few hits, taken a few losses of late. So looking to try to bring that back here this afternoon. So they got one more band to levy here. Might still continue to target out Vale in bot lane. Could always look to Red Nextla in mid lane as well. The Yone maybe bannable, but oh, they can take set away. That from Nisk. Yep, and also probably one of the best performing supports so far on a consistent basis. Has carried quite a few of SanaPekora's games. I look back on some of his rel games were really smurf. But 2014, going to lock in Lilia, so possibly looking for the AD top mid. As a potential look here, keep Lilia as your sole AP. Of course, could still take AP, and then you can go more of like the Moonstone Lilia, where you're not as reliant on your damage. Yep. Yep. And SanaPekora. Yeah, taking a long time, really putting some thought into these ones. And at least would certainly be interesting pick, not something you see too often. Yep. Gonna go for comfort there. Try to get a lot of early game advantages. Very good diving champion. And we know SanaPekoraWatanabe of all the teams in PSU LCS has been one of the best, I'd say, in getting across the map early, making dives, as well as just a lot of very aggressive plays in the early game. Yep. Yep. Bit interesting on the center pick here. It has been a bit nerfed for the AD carry position. You can still play it there, but certainly has a lot less damage now that your crit scaling is capped off with Gwinsu's. You can't get that over 100% crit damage, giving you a ton of on-hit. So there is that to consider. I think now that you have the center locked in, you really need some high damage mid-top laners to be able to play around. Because, yeah, Senna's going to be fine at the AD carry position, but you're still going to want a little bit more on the damage front when you have her at AD carry. You're not going to be doing as much DPS as a Jinx, as a Kaisa, as something like the Jhin. So, looking for a little bit stronger pick. Oh, can you not? Alright, I can look into that here. Give me a second. because it says you're picking up on OBS. So I don't know. We'll be back in a second with commentary. For then, enjoy the draft.
I hear music. I heard myself too, actually.
Audio issues fixed. We're back.
Oh, we got a R5 Viego.
Yep, that's probably going to red next in the middle lane.
Yep. So it looks like also the Dr. Mundo will be the Nocturne. That is the other primary thing that needs to be addressed. So we will see how this draft turns out here. So looking like an Urgot, Elise, Nocturne, Sen Alistar versus Cho'Gath, Lilia, Viego, Jinx, Thresh.
Yes, for chat, Viego is legal for PSU LCS right now. So you do have that one on the table. As we're just going to continue to get through bans, and we got a dodge.
And we got a dodge.
So just going to wait a minute here.
Apparently top lane is trolling. Yo, FF, Kappa.
Nope, but going back, I guess just looking at the compositions we got on the table right now. Definitely, if you're gonna take a draft winner on my head, 2014 looking pretty strong out of this one. You have the AD mid laner paired with Lilia, which is always super good. Cho'Gath is very strong right now into a variety of matchups. Actually, just pretty okay into the Dr. Mundo. Very swingy matchup.
It's Urgot top. It's Urgot.
What? It's Urgot.
It's Urgot. It's Urgot and Nocturne mid. Dr. Mundo is Nocturne.
Oh. All right, cool.
That is not very nice for Cho'Gath.
No, that is not nearly as nice for Cho'Gath. That is pretty crap for Cho'Gath, in fact.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. I mean, in reality, it's just Cho'Gath can't really contest the wave, I do believe, against Urgot.
Not early on, yeah. His ability to out.
You kind of have to just like, you kind of just have to like concede a lot and then use the Q for the most part farm, I'm assuming.
Level 1 you can actually look for the contest just because you have the E up, so if Urgot actually walks into melee range, you could deal some pretty good damage with that one. But generally, yeah, you're probably looking at a Q-Max Cho'Gath this game around. Don't think we'll see the Everfrost variants, but not necessarily a bad thing either. Full thing still perfectly acceptable. If you're looking at rune choices, it's just coming because I played an absolutely abhorrent amount of Cho'Gath in my time.
Yes. Cho'Gath one trick.
Yeah, for a time.
It's Yoka.
For a time. Should probably one trick again with how my elo's been deflating, but you know, we're getting there. In any event, probably gonna be taking second wind and Doran's shield in lane is because Urgot basically a ranged champion. Not necessarily as easy of a matchup. Also extraordinarily strong right now.
Yep.
Kind
of. You mentioned the Senna earlier. There's actually a new build that I also talked to Bush about this myself. but you just go Kraken Slayer directly into IE because you will get the 60% crit modifier from souls.
Yeah.
If you're playing properly. So just that's an insane 2-item spike, and you can itemize it to LDR or Rapid Fire Camo 3.
Probably looking at LDR this game, just judging from the compositions, but Nocturne mid for SanaPekoraWatanabe, certainly an interesting one. Definitely builds into Emiyusa's playstyle, very roam heavy to shove out wave, get the heck out kind of style. Probably looking a lot towards bot lane this time around with Billy D. As top lane, actually could look top as well. They want to try.
I think overall, I put the advantage in terms of like nameplates off. I actually give the advantage to. I think I like Jinx Thresh more over Senna Alistar, but I do think that Senna Alistar's like Blush and Danny has got to have like skill in terms of like skill.
Skill gap. You're saying there's skill gapping.
They're strong. I think they're probably stronger like together in comparison. And then Nocturne and Viego, I'm not completely sure on this matchup at all. I think it should probably go towards Viego's flavor, but
I think the later it goes,
couldn't
obviously
tell.
Viego would be better. Nocturne might be able to get some early stuff down just because he does quite a bit of burst damage on the Serena Dirk spike.
Yes, and then Elise, Lilia. I mean, I don't think Elise is a very good champion overall, but because it's Billy D, I think it could prove to be problematic for 2014 here because, you know, Billy D is quite a experienced jungler to say the least.
Yeah. I would also like to, I mean, if I'm going to take my win, I'm going to put my basket in the 2014 proposed draft. I think their composition is a lot more stable overall. Viego is probably your swingiest thing in the composition, but even when Viego gets behind, he always has the option of as soon as someone dies in a team fight that's fed, your Viego is now fed by consequence. Yeah. So you can still turn around even if he does get behind. So I think 2014, despite them having more losing lanes, I think mid-top is going to be pretty rough early on for them. I think if they can make it at an even level, or even like 1,000, 2,000 gold behind, coming into the mid-game, 2014 can be feeling pretty good about themselves. You have a Hyper Tank in front line, Shogat, you have Lilia who's going to be doing good, decent damage. Actually, there's a lot of ability to kite around the champions on SanaPekora besides maybe Senna. And then Jinx, Thresh, of course, is going to be pretty stable. Build up lane, you're the Lantern to do it. Jinx always going to scale, one of the last few hyper-scaling AD carries. They have a very well-rounded composition. They can team fight, they can look for picks. They have a lot of different options to play this game, whereas, when I look at SanaPekora, although their composition is still very scary when you compare it, a lot of things that have to go right early on. You need Nocturne to not be absolutely worthless except for an R button. You need Elise to not be absolutely worthless except for an R button. And those two players, although very skilled on SanaPekora, and I don't doubt that they can pull it off, just a little bit of a question mark, because there always is a chance that, hey, if Emiyusa's ability can't get strong leads, can't impact the map enough early game, what really options do they have once we get in the middle lane game?
Indeed. Yeah, basically, if SanaPekora can actually just scale, or not scale, can get the ball rolling early game, especially around level 6.
6 spike's gonna be huge for their team.
Where the Senna are Dawning Shadow, Unbreakable Well, Nocturne's Paranoia is all unlocked. They can actually just make a play topside really easily, where with Alistar roaming off and Senna just pressing R, as well as Nocturne at the same time. And then potentially getting a Herald or something along those lines.
Like a lot of dives from SanaPekora. That's the nice thing about the Elise in this matchup, although Elise not generally a jungler we like to see right now, not as consistent as she could be. You have two very high pressure lanes in mid and top, especially on the Urgot side of things, so top lane diving a very weak and under-leveled Cho'Gath is certainly an option for these guys to pull off with the Paranoia and the Elise to reset aggro several times. Definitely something that can be done repeatedly and easily, so maybe some top lane focus here from SanaPekora on the dive front, but definitely looking to unlock Emiyusa in the mid game. Get out of the matchup with Viego and start really hitting home on those side lanes.
Yeah. We'll be expecting to see that Stridebreaker build, I believe, on the
Nocturne goes Stridebreaker right now. I do believe that is the current build path as we are still loading into game. There we go. Yep, no real interestingness in the runes. Cornell Clunk decided to go with the Phase Rush on the Lilia. Otherwise, nothing super insane. Nocturne taking TP is a little bit interesting, but...
I think with this build, the tankier build, you do want to go TP rather than Ignite.
Fair enough.
Damage. Yeah. Be beginning the game very shortly here.
As we have our first matchup here, 2014 versus SanaPekora. Again, this is pretty important for playoffs. SanaPekora still looking to get themselves secured in those top few spots in the PSU LCS after a few weeks of a rough patch in 2014, coming up from the depths of the standings, to be sure. Looking to secure their position as well.
You can pause right in game.
Yep. Not really sure what the pause is for, but...
Here's that someone is going to the bathroom.
Ah, nice. Nice. Let's go. Not like we had a bunch of time to do this beforehand.
Yes.
Oh, no. Anyway. Not too much else to talk about in terms of team comps. I think we've exhausted those options. So we're going to head over to the standings because why not? And that's interesting.
Oh, they're pausing now.
Oh, we're pausing? Never mind. We're good. Are we unpausing?
Soon. They said R in the chat. It says. Oh. But I'm not sure where the unpause is.
Yeah, still waiting. Still waiting. Anyway, standings. Right now, current standings as of whatever this Google sheet. Oh, we're in game. Never mind. We're not doing.
Yeah,
standings.
we are unpaused.
Me troll.
But we got. It looks like we have 5 blue invade top side and 5 red invade bot side. So
missing one on the blue side there.
Blish,
found out
you know,
the perpetrator of the pause. As Senna will be the solo goer towards the red buff, so
30 seconds until minions.
This could be very interesting outcome as we'll have no vision on the oncoming invade.
Yep, he'll be walking in. Senna is in a very safe spot right now, so should not be caught out. To see, as long as she's sitting in the bush, yeah, she's sitting in the bush. So
the bush. Arrow's on Loomis though, up on the thresh, might fix it. Does guess correctly, but Blish already out of the way.
Trading sides essentially here.
Yep, gonna look for some vertical.
Blish knows where the wards are. Basically, sides are being traded 100%. So it does look like. Do not think you should walk up there, Blish.
Oh no, Air's Out of Limits walked out of the bush there. I think Blish knows.
I think you should go to lane, probably.
Yeah, just go to lane here. I think they might try to like do some weird deal or wait till Cornhole gets low and try to contest off the combo, but there's really no point to be sitting here for that long.
Needs to make a call here.
Out. Yeah, this is trouble. Good double knock up on the rupture.
Don't think.
Really, he has to flashing.
He doesn't have cocoon yet,
yeah,
though.
So it is just a random flash for really no reason. He's probably gonna force TP top lane.
Yes.
But
goes first to TP out at the very least.
Isn't gonna really be able to do too much else, so trade of flashes still benefiting of SanaPekora. Jungle flash not nearly as valuable in that lane. So that's going on there, but a lot of XP lost here by the SanaPekora bot lane off the red side invade, as they are to be zoned off the CS. Expecting a lot of freezes down bot this game with Veil piloting Jinx.
Urgot should just cheater recall here.
Yeah, this should be a cheater on 3. Pick up maybe a call would actually be, I'd recommend a lot of this method. There's really nothing Shogun can do to contest you a lot of the time, so just pick up a call, get some extra gold and extra lead on the Urgot. Not going to hurt you at all in this matchup.
It's not appear that he will be taking it. The trade.
Not doing too hot on the here, but we can look at jungle path inside. further action outside of this early game. And really a fast forward bot side lead. Top that again more that.
They will be taking a Trader Recall though.
Yep, as expected. And yeah, Nate's just gonna have to struggle into this turret here. Lilia doesn't get top or bot crab for free, trading there with Elise. You have that vertical jungling still in effect. Although I believe Lilia probably up a camp until Billy D takes his rapids out. In the meantime, possible look mid here by Cornhole Clunk. Spotted out in vision, so probably will just go for the recall here, reset, grab some boots, grab some more items, go for that Krug clear, get your Krugs leveled up, and continue on your merry way for the hard clear. Instead is going to go check the Raptors. One left behind by Billy D. Billy D now transitioning to the Krugs of lane, so really trying to go for it. And so far, as not too much is happening, so quite a
I think
top lane.
probably will be taking just playing for the level 6 power spike. So the scuffle.
Yeah, defending the Raptors, but only has 9 farms, so doesn't really want to leave lane for too long here. Not sure if Prepping Pot really necessarily the right move on the Cho'Gath matchup. I think Doran Shield does quite a bit with how much.
Especially hitting a second win or something.
Yeah, especially a second win. Is he in some trouble here? Though Watanabe does have the flash available if he wants to go for another distinct later, so. Let's see if it interesting. Emiyusa, wow, stunned up mid lane, ignites down, yeah, burns the flash.
Emiyusa has no mana there, so has to burn the flash to get out of lane.
Yep.
We need to use the TP.
More than likely, I'm not sure.
Billy D is looking to path top here, perhaps looking for a dive. Has the damage.
Has no TP, is very low on mana.
We'll be zoning a whole wave at least here.
Yeah, this is pretty big. Well played by Billy D on the pathing. I mean, Moonfake needs to lose even more XP and CS.
Make sure they cannot freeze here bot lane, but we'll still try to.
It's Vale, he's gonna try to.
Yeah.
The story of
the minions are quite low, so might not freeze depending on how the RNG favors.
Yeah. Level 6 though on Emiyusa, Paranoia is up and available, so any type of River Scuttle is certainly going to be a problem here for
yeah, it's not freeze.
2014.
There's actually an opportunity here for Emiyusa to look for a bot lane play here. Now that the wave is still pushing in.
Yeah, and Cornhole actually do make it a little bit scary with Elise and bot side as well. Could just get Nocturne ulted off the board. Paranoia instead going mid lane, burns the flash. Not too bad, maybe not with the best use of the first Paranoia, but gets some job done.
Really struggling on this.
Yeah, a little low.
Danny's got spots.
Yeah. Danny's got his spotted out. 700 flash forward, ignite down first. Blood to support solo kill on the dragon. Meanwhile, secured by Billy D. Now, Aerostar Loomis in some trouble. Emiyusa will grab the kill.
Gotta fight top lane here. Shotgun knees activated.
And that's, I guess, just a little bit greedy on Cornhole Clunk not having the bot.
Yeah.
They're not able to get
trying to solo Drake as Lilia.
Yeah,
not ideal.
Especially if you're going with the Moonstone build, as Cornhole Clunk is going. You don't do damage. It's not something you are privy to. And yeah, ability to just continually counter jungling the Lilia as well off of these mistakes in plays. So far, a bit more gold here onto the Nocturne, so definitely liking that for the chances of SanaPekora. One of those lanes that we said had to get ahead early game as Renexella in trouble. No flash available on Diego. Billy D goes for it, but can just walk away. Top lane, he's in trouble. Grabs the Q knock up, so Yo Watanabe getting straight back onto Emmy. Both flashed. Yo does not
they're scared of each other's Rs.
Yeah,
each other executes. Both have an execute R.
Yo used his, so Cho'Gath actually had an advantage there. Probably could have looked for the kill if he had his E back off cooldown.
Consume could be an angle there, yes.
Yeah, you get your what you can do there is you get one last E tick in, and you flash consume, it cancels the consume's animation. So it's an auto execute. There's no way you can flash it. It's a lot like what Yone can do with some of his abilities with buffering input off Pretty neat. Very useful.
Let's say that Blue D has not impacted the lanes as much as I thought he might have this game.
Yeah.
For ganks and such, as I mean, at least
It's
is a
been
gank
mostly
jungler, but
solo advantages.
he is how farming Cornhole Clunk here, so still getting advantage elsewhere. Another
Yeah,
way.
I'm not sure if Cornhole Punk has actually cleared his Krugs yet. So maybe a bit of a pathing issue there with some of these camps going on. You do have that kind of split the fork in between Krugs and Gromp, where you never really want to have either of those camps up at the same time to maximize your XP and gold. So you've had that problem quite a bit. You could always just save them for Neats, tell Neats, hey, I know you're struggling, buddy, start taking the Krugs. If you're not bothering to clear it yourself, you're still going to get the levels on them. Someone's still getting the gold XP, so it's not wasting time on the map.
Yep. And can still get that feast on the Krugs very easily.
Yeah, that does help with stacking as well. As liking the, at least so far here from Needs, going with the Tabby's Rush, very useful. Again, we'll probably like to see that Doran Shield if you have gotten it over the couple spots, but no harm, no foul. Cho'Gath does gain health back with mana from his passive as well, so debatable on that reach. It's probably not feasible with the bot wave for Bale to handle. And possibly here from the Lilia, though, is on vision still. YoWatanabe walking up, uses the disdain to try to
Got
get away.
6.
Good Q hit. Drowsy comes down. He has no feats available, though, so this won't be an easy kill. Now the flash away from Lilia. YoWatanabe trying to kite away. Needs, though, will find the final tick of Vorpal spikes. And a well-played gank there by Cornhole Clunk. Turn around what was a very hard losing top lane. Get to make YoWatanabe lose most of his wave with the teleport. Also grabs the plate onto the Cho'Gath. And with Dragon not yet up at bot lane for another minute and a half, won't even lose anything on the reverse side of things as well as any significance.
So far, still a relatively slow game.
Yep. Which, in all, probably favors more the side of 2014 as YoWatanabe looking for the trade here. Needs to just put the back, so this really doesn't affect him in terms of health off. YoWatanabe, meanwhile, going to be down a fair portion of his health bar. They're going to have to burn some potions.
Has a deep blade, so not too
Yeah, not
affected
too
by
big a
you.
deal, but still, you already have Needs looking to either TP back topside or walk up. Looks like he might be looking for this bot lane play here as Aristotle. Looking, this is a lot of people from SPW though, not sure if they want to look for this test. Gonna lose actually most of the wave top lane and a place for that. Might have just wanted to burn the TP, but with Dragon running up, not looking to be too overly selfish in top lane.
Actually looking.
Big flash from Jamie God, not gonna do too much, but he's going over. They're gonna look for some thresh. Jamie's got the sun is dead. They're gonna come down as well, so that is gonna be one kill on Loomis. I mean, Houston does find Cornhole Punk, but it is a return kill for Lilia. It is a 1-2 so far. Cho'Gath in the backside. They're looking for the flank.
Renaxia looking.
Yeah, no TP. Renaxia is there, has the ulti. Looking for the reset. Needs to the backside, but they're turning on to Balance. Headbutt goes over the wall, actually saves the Jinx. And now Needs in. Needs finds one ulti on it. Danny's got the reset. Cuts red from red. And Glitch caught on the wrong side of the rift. Another open command double kill for the Cho'Gath. That is a massive team fight win for 2014 off the back end. Equalizes the gold entirely. Cho'Gath is now fed. And they're going to start doing the Dragon. They do not, however, actually do. Yeah, Cornhole Punk does come down here. YoWatanabe may not be able to do too much into these champions. The Dragon secure. There will be no Dragon stacking for SPW either to try to keep this game in an accelerated state. And all
A bit overzealous, I'd say.
Yeah, very good TP from Needs off the overcommit.
Overall,
I think the paranoia under turret also.
Yeah, it's a bit
Maybe a
overzealous.
little bit too ballsy, but trading 1 for 1 on Nocturne, not necessarily unhappy when it's the jungler, but still.
At this point, despite the CS advantage accrued by YoWatanabe, Needs is actually up for about 500 gold.
Yeah,
So
have to be a little bit careful still. Does now have a shutdown in a very volatile top lane matchup, so. Needs to be a little careful. Aristotle Lewis is top lane. They're going to look for the play. Billy though also here as well as Miusa does not have the paranoia just yet. YoWatanabe can take a lot of the Vorpal spike damage with his shield. And instead down to the fight onto Aristotle Lewis. Aristotle grabs the stun and gets the shield there. Big AoE onto Cornhole Punk, but does manage to grab the Nocturne and he's now going on to Yo Watanabe, not find the Rupture as Billy D comes through. Aerosol Lumisto does find Jet that the rest of the team trying to get forward.
And got here.
God, in the backside finds the knockup Neat, flashing away, the Jigsaw not connecting, and then he's got 3-man Rupture with Neat. Drowsy coming through. This is going to be big for 2014. Is Yo Watanabe going to try to limp away? The execute, though, is there from Red Nexla, and it will be 4-0 in favor of 2014. Big kills coming in for Cornhole Funk. More assists on to Diego.
Yusa coming back here.
Will grab the trade kill. Uses teleport and the paranoia to grab that one, but very well played. That probably will be top lane Kurt, though. Yeah, that's gonna be top lane Kurt. Your redneck.
My guess is that. My guess is that, you know, SanaPekora is a bit mental boom right now. They are just taking a lot of these fights that
overcommitting.
They're just a bit overzealous, trying to force plays where they can't really do so a lot of times. Especially now that Lily actually does have that Moonstone Renewer Power Spike. He was actually healing quite a lot during that last fight. Has almost 1,000 healing already.
Yeah, that's great.
So
she just picked up the, or Cornhole just picked up the item. A lot of that probably being in those last team fight and a half that he was around. Billy D, though, good trying to bring back off the blue buff. Top side grabbing camps out of there. All in all, though, just kind of lots of pings. They're gonna try to keep forcing these plays. Billy D looks for the bail. Does find the cocoon, but isn't gonna be able to get anything else out of it. And I mean, it is in favor of SanaPekora to try to keep up the pace of the game in terms of their composition, but right now, not looking like a very viable option. It has been 2014 coming out very much ahead, maybe looking on that first item spike on some of the other champions, but right now, it is actually 2014 with all the items, and Yusa maybe bit off more than he can chew. Grabs the
Kraken Slayer is already out, so.
Yeah, Kraken Slayer.
Passive tab eyes for the steel caps.
Support, so he's feeling pretty good. Also, the Veil with the call, feeling pretty good on the Jinx, all things considered.
They look like Bush might be going for a Monomune center here, or maybe just in on the tier just for mana. Not sure just yet.
God, they're gonna find that
Paranoia.
Yeah, Sun is gonna last forever. Good CC lock. Billy D gonna grab that kill as well, so does get the overcommit onto red. And again, that's kind of like the plays we were talking about. You want to go for the pick with this team coming, but meanwhile, bot lane without the support around, they get a lot of damage on this tower. Aristotle, maybe it's double mail though. Excited, they could look for the fight while the team is up and available. Yo Watanabe, TP, they want to try to disengage. Danny's God finds one part of the combo. There is the knockout, the stun coming through. The ult is there. Yo Watanabe is the benefactor. Be only a matter of time for Aristotle Loomis to bite the dust as well, as he'll have to try to run away on the Thresh.
Lily is gonna collapse soon. Has a combo very soon, Danny's God, but will not commit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Neat's maybe in as well, of course, still trying to keep this game going as fast as humanly possible. Disrupt does not hit as Neat's going very low. MAU's doing quite a bit of damage. Shutdown gold 600 on the Nocturne. And now,
very good.
With the, picks from SPW, just 2014 not only respecting the amount of pick potential of some of these champions, not respecting the cooldowns on the TPs either, getting caught out across the map.
Our nature, I mean, SanaPekora has an insane side lane pick.
And also getting caught out again! The lantern's there, but he can't
stands on the lantern.
Body. Yo, grab the kill there. Comes the Silky Lullaby. Mortal Boom does no more damage to follow up. And another pick for SanaPekora. Trying to continue the fight.
The TP.
Coming in from Needs, they're looking for Danny's God. The Alistar trying to get away with the headbutt of the exec, kicking down. Needs grabs the kill with one more Rupture. Switch. Not long for the world. Veil grabs the counter kill. So they do manage to bring to bear some arms in return.
A lot overstaying on both sides.
A little bit. Those picks a little bit more meaningful now that the dragon is up on the map, so
we'll be going over unless Billy D does look for the steal here. He can.
It's available for MAU stuff. They want to try to get that. They are instead going to go for speed. So Neat grabbing another stack. Stack check on the Cho'Gath actually, because why not? Cho'Gath's currently at 5 ultimate stacks, so not the most ahead he could be, but still pretty good.
Doing pretty good overall.
Considering there's a lot of those that are not minions, because a lot of minion stacks to go with, he has plenty of time to keep up the pace. One of the things that's harder to balance on Cho'Gath that actually, despite a very simple kick, can be a little bit interesting to get used to is like how to stack your minion-based ultimates in the early game to continue to have lane pressure and the threat and the lethal threat with Feast, while also still efficiently stacking. I mean, you saw knocked up here, has the field knocked away by the silent bug. Use the paranoia, trying to turn this back onto Veil. Great flash away though from Danny is God as he does get stunned up by Billy D. So it will just be a bunch of buttons being pressed, but no kills come of it. Get a few recalls. Billy D does get tagged with the Swirl Seed. Not too much else damage. They might look for the Riptail though, as they know the Nocturne no paranoia has to hit the recall. They're still gonna try to. This is gonna be another Riptail fight. We've seen a lot of these recently. Team Miku opting to do a lot of these themselves, coming on the bottom side of it after the Herald has started. Instead, it is going to be the disengage for now. Vale and Aristotle not in the area to really contest it. Might steal the objective. Will do. GG, thank you for the leash. Pick that one up. Is, of course, second Riptail is not the worst thing that you can lose on the map right now. Gonna get some damage on this mid lane turret pop. Yeah,
gonna take it down. Actually very good for the side of SanaPekora as they have a lot of side power with them. So you can just shove out mid lane, have Nocturne rotate.
Definitely get the second charge off as well here.
No, I think they might not allow it. Actually, it'll go, it'll go.
We'll grab the charge, so damage down on the tier 2 as well.
Cho'Gath not even feasted.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he wouldn't have it up. I would have. I mean, you feasted. That's still considered an epic monster stack.
Yeah, so I think it's worth
to do that.
Billy D called out here.
Also flashing, but the ulti placing him in a little bit of an awkward position over that wall there. Kind of unfortunate from the Viego. Vale actually does hit the ult, but still Billy D gonna live with sub 50.
Sliver of HP.
Yep. And he's very overextended here. Good look for the turn by Bliss and Danny. God, I haven't had the Alistar and the Senna here for quite a while. My bad. There we go.
He's gone.
Yep, gonna
just roll seed, just fine.
Just fine. And once again, we're gonna be into a little bit of a lull stage. Still 2 more minutes on the Mountain Drake. Of course, 2014 loving getting these Cho'Gath on their team. Gonna be heating up every Mountain Drake as possible as you can. And so far, although it is looking decent for TFT so far, they haven't really fairly well in this early game. Not a ton of gold on the Jinx, not a ton of gold on the Viego. You have a lot of your kills onto Cornhole and Deep. So, still maybe not the best scenario they could have asked for. Definitely not behind, and Meat's going to be very tanky coming into mid-game. But going to need to start seeing some extra gold coming in on the carries for TFT to really contest, as 2 items is probably going to be the strongest point in the game we see from SanaPekora. Up until Senna starts really getting going and Urgot maybe gets to a 3rd item where you get a lot of the healing coming in.
Yeah, around mid-game when Jinx has 2-3 items versus Senna's 2 items, Jinx is stronger. But like super late game, Senna becomes strong again. But on a 2-3 item spike, Jinx is actually still quite a bit more powerful regardless.
Yep. 55 seconds into the Drake spawn, got plenty of vision down here by 2014. Looking for the rotation top of the stage here as Yusa takes his final recall.
Does get the Sterex gauge.
Yeah, it's going to be SanaPekora who's going to have first dibs on the objective here. Does not have teleport just yet. Coming up in just a minute.
We'll have the Sterex gauge on Yusa, the Nocturne.
Yep.
No IE on Senna, but Jinx has Kraken Renons.
Yep. Actually, they do end up letting 2014 get into the river. So they're not going to be able to choke point them off. It will be a very wide playing field for 2014 to play around. Crab secured, I believe, by Billy D. Yep, secured by Billy D. So.
Yep. And Musa sounds like paranoia.
Yep.
Probably will be looking for a play with that option potentially.
Yeah, they're going to go mid lane, try to get some push potential here as well. But the Dragon started up immediately by 2014. I want to try to push him down. With the Deep having speed available. Good rupture actually. This rupture so far. Paranoia is in the speed starting down. The Dragon's triple again in the fight. Good dawning down and trying to get another.
Oh, 2-minute knockoff.
This might be trouble
Yusa
here
cannot
for 2014. there comes Fear Beyond Death. Redneck Fellow will fall, and it's going to be a full ace Baron on the map. No, Neeks manages to get away. He's rooted on for now. Bush still looking for
Bush
the
is chasing.
kill.
Probably should just go to Baron
Yeah,
here.
have to be careful here. And that is, they do get the Drake, but the cost might be a little too steep as Baron on the menu for SanaPekora. Nocturne ulti doing way too much work, to be honest. And
Yeah,
that team,
Nocturne.
Everything's so disjointed.
Nocturne is full HP still. Not really sure what exactly happened, I gotta say, but turning the lights off probably just made them kind of not sure, like, because they couldn't see the Alistar flank in the beginning of the fight. You know, Alistar, Daniel's got
It's gonna be a little early though. He's not gonna be able to get there for the timing either. Might was very close, so maybe a rupture there could have snagged it away, but in the end, it will be SanaPekoraWatanabe grabbing the Baron buff. So, though
on the bright side, the soul point is given towards 2014. So if they get the Mount Soul, it will be very hard for anyone to die on the side of 2014 in these coming fights. But if SanaPekora can pressure their advantage using the Baron buff as well as their item lead at this point, they'll be able to do a lot more, and they'll be able to. They should be able to just contest the next Drake without any huge issue.
And this is kind of the issue we saw that I was talking about earlier is in terms of where the gold's actually distributed. It seems a lot of gold on the members you really don't need it on from 2014. They could have gone with a lot more economic value, whereas all the carries besides Seta, who doesn't need gold necessarily, have a lot of gold. You have Elise, Nocturne, and Urgot all have a bunch of gold on their champions right now. They're hitting their spikes where they should be. Urgot's still a little bit rough in his Shogun right now, just the items, but he's going to be getting that here after this back. So that's kind of where we're seeing these fights. I mean, SanaPekora have the gold where they want it. They have a lot more items. Gonna be pretty hard for 2014 to fight in them, but with soul points, still plenty of options to come back in this game. Mountain Soul, a pretty huge boon for 2014 against all these high damage dealing. As they're gonna look to pick it.
Paranoia.
They might try to wait it out.
TPing.
Yep, as Sadie's got it in the backline. Needs to just gone. Yo, Watanabe gonna find a figure on that. Never uses the backline off Paranoia. Aristotle, Lubin. Well
Just
done.
don't take damage.
Yeah.
They really just don't take any damage in any of these fights.
It's too disjointed. By 2014, they are fighting down a man. They have down two men. They have no ability to see with the Paranoia coming in, and now it's going to be an inhibitor for sure. SanaPekora, as well as the 5+K gold lead.
Yeah. Nocturne actually that fight turned off the lights and then TP just to start the fight off so that Danny as God could actually look for that dive. Very, very smart, very heads-up play from Imiyusa here. So, furthermore, we actually are at the 2-item spike for Senna, has a Kraken IE here. 60% crit is available, so it's actually doing quite a lot of damage in some of these fights now. And I do believe that basically, as long as SanaPekoraWatanabe can get the next Drake, they should be able to continue to play the game with these picks in the future fights. As at this point, Nocturne is nigh unkillable. There's no real like damage threat that can actually touch him because both. I mean, Jinx will die instantly to Nocturne, and Viego is the other threat, but quite difficult for him to do consistent damage as long as Alistar is just there to CC.
Yep. We do have the Soul Drake coming up here in just a minute, so it's really going to depend here on how 2014 want to set up for this. Because they very much want this boom. It might be the point they decide to fight over.
If 2014 can do the Mountain Soul, they actually have a very high chance of winning the game. But if they don't, it is a lot more difficult, I'd say.
Yeah, and I mean, they do have scale on the side, so they could give it if they wanted to, but once you're on Soul Point, the ability to just get to Soul and continue to try to build it off of it, always great. It looks like they're going to give this one, though. As Needs Farm Tumbling does have TP, but without any setup in the river. Paranoia coming in on Portal Funk, does grab the sleeve. Spellshield does not get rid of that one, my friend. You have to do it on the Drowsy. And that will be a 2 major ultimates from both sides.
Let's force out the Zanyas, though, at least.
Yep, a lot of major cooldowns burn.
Oh, Danny's got looking for flank here.
Yeah,
behind them.
Lumen's also done good. Donning got it out there. Veil is gone. Red Necklace running for the hills, but he's unstoppable under his own turret. Billy D also grabbing a kill. Actually, Bliss is the benefactor on the Viego. Now Urgot
TP.
top lane. doesn't have the Baron anymore, so can't necessarily do much about it. And now it might just be a base race. Cornel, Quick, and Aristotle Lumens are going to be back here in Neat. So to get back in as well.
I think they just play for the
Watanabe.
Drake here.
Yeah, has to try to get out of this one. Cornel, Quick, possibly by Cornel, Quick,
Oh, there's so much
down.
damage. The Titanic
Watanabe
Hydra.
Still plenty good. Has no fear beyond death just yet, but this is probably the end of the game.
Looking for the end.
Yeah, there's still looking at 7 seconds on Veil, 10 on Rex for the next one.
Really be looking for some damage.
Just gonna burn down these last few objectives. He's trying to do what he can off early here. The ultimate Jig finally secured, shut down on to the
GG.
but the Nexus will fall regardless. And SanaPekora was a slow early game, mistake-ridden early game, but they will be the ones to finish off game 1 vastly ahead of their opponents. GG.
GG indeed.
Yeah, it was, I mean, honestly, a bit of a disappointing showing from 2014 in the mid game there. Had the lead, had a lot of good early plays, and just couldn't really finish it off. A few good ultis and flanks by both.
The Nocturne and the Alistar were just quite
and
insane.
Yusa.
Nocturne, Alistar very, very powerful in this game, and instead of just offering that global pressure with the Dawning Shadow, as well as that just utility with the healing. Basically, no one could die any of these fights after a certain point. After Nocturne did get the Stride Breaker as well as the Sterix Gauge, it was basically unkillable in these fights.
Yeah, bruiser items are really cool, especially Sterix Gauge. Not overtuned at all.
Smile.
Smile.
Do you need to adjust the pro draft right now?
Yeah, I'll adjust the pro draft here. Okay. For the moment, though, we'll be taking a little break on the cast. We're back here in just a few minutes with the game 2.
Ah,
Ah, never mind. We weren't live. Gosh, darn it. Every time someone comes back, another one leaves. It's never ending. All right, folks, we're back on delay. We'll be back in a minute. All right, for reals this time, we are good to go.
yep.
Welcome back to game 2.
It's going to the pro draft right now.
Yep. Sorry for the delay, waiting on people to get rated up in game, but the pro draft is in any event started. Oh, it's taking the wrong screen, my bad. Just close that out, and we good to go. All right.
Will be a no ban first, as
Yep, 2014, still having
lost the ban.
lost a ban. SanaPekoraWatanabe going to take away the Gnar once again. Still Jim has been popping up here and there. Can't be very impressive in lane.
Neat, in the past solo queue games, has been playing a lot of Gnar, but recently he did just get nerfed, so I do not believe he's as strong as he once was, but still banning out just for respect.
Yep. And we got, I'm thinking another no ban, but I'm not entirely certain, so we'll see. Otherwise, the Nocturne might be hitting the table this time. It's very possible. A lot of after game talk on that champion's immense annoyance in game. So we will see. SanaPekoraWatanabe, second ban here. They did the Gnar first. See what they decide to go with. Lots of very long wait times on bans.
Oh, they banned Hecarim apparently.
They banned Hecarim for the 2014?
Yeah, 2014 banned Hecarim for the second ban.
2014 Hecarim and Nocturne are both banned by 2014. Pro Draft is just scuffed. Kaisa banned away by SanaPekoraWatanabe. And we have one more ban here for SanaPekora. They're going to take away the set from Niitsk once again, and now 2014 with a priority pick. See what they decide to take away here. I'm not really sure if there's any super hotly contested picks between these two teams. So
maybe Alistar, but I'm not sure at this point.
Senna, I guess.
Senna taken out the table.
Yep. Gonna be picked up here for Veil. Of course, could technically also go to Aristotle Loomis if they're doing some other odd type of composition that we don't normally see in the competitive scene. But otherwise, SanaPekora R1 on 2 here, maybe looking on to something like the Jinx if they want it. Now that the Senna's taken away, Alistar's still a very good option, of course, or Danny is God. We're gonna pick that one up, just keep the comfort, just playing like an absolute animal, to be honest. Lots of games we've seen them. And Tristana gonna be the flex pick here on R2.
Yes. Tom Kench.
Oh,
Wow.
we upset a Tom Kench. Oh, no.
Fasting Senna.
Lilia pickup here, actually pretty solid. Gonna take away another BP option. Of course, Elise still available for Billy D. Take Elise here. Tristana's still gonna be flexible between mid and bot lane. So the same thing here with Graves potentially with the hover. Yeah, that's gonna be hover. So more than likely Tristana bot lane, just so you don't have the conflicting AD. Unless they're putting Yo Watanabe on some kind of AP champion. I mean, Mordekaiser's still an option, though he really isn't in the best of spots right now, so gonna have to wait and see. Camille banned away from SanaPekoraWatanabe, limiting more option needs. Urgot hitting the bench as well. Darius still available for Watanabe. Does have the one strike. Has been seeing some pro play, courtesy of a broken blade in the LEC. So, maybe not
Indeed.
as troll of a competitive pick as we've seen in the past. And
Scion.
So just kind of taking options. Galio as well, going to limit SanaPekora's roaming ability in mid. Some of the globals. Twisted Fate's still available if Yusa wishes to pick that one up. Still has that semi-global ability to get across map.
Darius obviously is still available, but if they have to be careful about the
blinding Darius still does cause some issues. There are still the Bane, of course, still available if you want to go that route top lane, and that is a pretty abysmal matchup until you get Stride Breaker.
Flood Blind.
Flood Blind still solid. Counters a lot of the champions that deal with healing. Still looking like Aatrox.
There might be a Fiora pick here, actually.
Yeah, Fiora. I was like, Fiora is one of the picks that could be good here. I'm not sure if something 2014 necessarily want to go towards, but it is an option.
Yes, it could be a Doinby Clud mid too.
Could also be good.
Malphite,
Malphite, however, is another
very safe
very
option
solid
and
option.
good into Clud. So.
Now, I would say, yep, there's the Yasuo. Say 2014
The MY.
needs some damage, and Yasuo will certainly supplement that quite nicely. And Silas give you the final pickup here, so probably. I'm guessing you put the Clud in, put Silas in top lane against the Malphite, but
Unless they want to do a lane swap, I do believe that it would be a cut top Salas mid. I do think that you want to definitely give Salas towards 2 Yusa.
yeah.
But
I think you want Silas into Malphite more than Yasuo.
yeah, so they probably just want a lane swap, like the players. Is my assumption here. Probably the best thing you can do in this situation.
And we're gonna get into normal draft. So switching over there in just a second. But yeah, pretty solid team once again picked up by both sides. SanaPekora with no shortage of damage on any of their champions, whereas, I mean, 2014, when I'm looking at their team and seeing this, is they might have some issues with damage. Maybe if Lilia goes with the Leandre's build, you have a little bit of equality to that, but Malphite, Tom Catch, not going to be super hard damage. Senna also a lot weaker in the early game, so you're really relying on Yasuo to do a lot of DPS in these team fights. That's going to be really hard with Alistar and Graves on the enemy team. Between the blind as well as the peel from Alistar, really hard for Red to pilot that one this time around. But does have the Wombo comp potential. You do have possibly a flash Lilting Lullaby into a Malphite ulti, into Yasuo ulti with SanaTop Catch to back it up coming from God knows where. There's a lot of potential for 2014 to pop off in team fights, but again, they have a losing or even top lane. I should say Malphite's not necessarily losing into Kled. If you can play it correctly. I'm not sure about the Silas Yasuo matchup. Jungle matchup really does have to play a little bit careful early game. Graves pretty strong. Still in the early levels, and then SanaTop Catch gonna get pretty much just put in the put under tower for most of this early game against Tristana Alistar. Very aggressive lane for certain.
But should not actually die to the 2v2.
Yeah, shouldn't die,
unless they really misplay it. I expect to see Kled actually just ulting to start a fight in a lot of these fights in this game. A very powerful tool in this game.
Yep.
Has a lot of playmaking potential on the side of red side here. SanaPekora has Kled ult, Alistar. Salas, of course, can get them Malphite ult, so has all the tools to set up fights on that side. But blue side obviously has a Malphite Yasuo combo. Senna can follow with the Dawning Shadow and Lilia with the Lilting Lullaby.
Yep. Now we got. We always do the whole who won draft thing here on PSU Friends Name League. I'm gonna give it over to SanaPekora this game. I think they have good playmaking, still great team fighting. Ton of damage, an absolutely absurd amount of damage. And with the yes, 2014 has options to still fight back into it, but it's gonna be much harder because they just don't do as much damage. That seems to be, in at least Season 11, the recipe for success. Waiting here for spectator delay, of course, one of the disadvantages of being small-time stream boys.
Yes, I would like to see the Silas and Clyde lane swap though. I'm not sure if it will happen.
Clyde would be much more preferred to the Yasuo. Silas much more preferred to the Malphite. Much more preferred to the Malphite. And Billy D gonna have plenty of options here on the Graves to get invades off on Cornel Clunk. Once again, gonna be able to force play pretty much wherever he really wants to. Maybe mid lane's a bit more scary than most, but plenty of options here for SanaPekora to throw on the map in terms of 2014. Even harder than the last game, just very much ready and willing to sit back in the recliner here and just let the game go as it will until the later portion of the map, where they will. The late game there is pretty scary. Still options, of course, for SanaPekora between Tristana and Silas to really take over that later portion of the game, but Senna, Yasuo, Lilia, Malphite, very scary once you get onto that 3-4 item marker. Very, very scary. The question is, are we going to get there? And what will the situation be at that point? So, it's going to be interesting how these teams can play. Expecting a lot more passive play from 2014 once again. Bot lane just going to try to survive, freeze up lane, what have you. Top side of the map going to be pretty much doing the same. So, Cornel Clunk, I think on the Lilia, going to have a very hard time of it. Not going to have really any lane pressure to work around. Billy D going to have full reign of his jungle as well as more home punks. So, and it's going to be hard because you can't even go the economic Moonstone build on Lilia this game. You pretty much are forced into Leandra's build to get some damage for your team. So,
Already have no AP.
Yeah.
There's no AP on the team.
You really need the Leandra's unless this is a full AP Malphite, which completely changes the dynamic of this game. Gonna be
Full AP Malphite, we're just looking to one-shot.
Yeah, you're looking at
Tristana, but
Tristana,
at the end,
one-shot Silas.
Very difficult to one-shot anyone on the team, actually.
Yeah, a lot of mobility.
Yeah. So, because Graves, well, pretty mobile, and somewhat tanky, honestly, to say the least. We'll be probably going for some more options if the AP Malphite starts to get atomized. Cled, you can't really one-shot him. Silas probably will be going for that Everfrost build. Might be going for that Mana build actually. I have actually spoken with Evan Yusa about this a few days ago. Might be trying out the Mana build here to see how effective it is. And Tristana obviously has the option to be one-shotted by AP Malphite, but it still is Tristana, so she can just rocket jump away and be pretty safe for the most part.
Yep.
As long as Bush has that reaction time.
We'll see. Did have a headache, did have some health issues going on with him, so we'll see if his reaction time is still up to snuff. He's gonna need to get away from Malphite this game for certain. So we're gonna load here into the loading screen, check out some runes and setups.
Conquer on the Silas.
Yep.
Phase Rush on the Graves. As a comment on Malphite and Dark Harvest on Lilia. So Lilia will probably be going for that AP options. Now that
it's definitely
she does go for the Dark Harvest.
Actually, yeah, Dark Harvest is probably better this game. I'd say normally when you're going to damage, I occasionally like to see the Predator build.
Another pause.
Another pause. We're going to see who's
Top laner is AFK. Here's
for SanaPekora.
Yes.
The RA duty calls and he cannot abort.
No, for Neetsk.
Oh, Neetsk, never mind.
Misspoke. Oh, so we're getting the game very shortly. The R's are being typed in chat.
Yep, getting the resume here. So, gonna get back in game. Have to see if there's any more invade shenanigans this time around.
Let's take a quick look on the runes choice.
Pretty standard.
Here's that Silas will be going mid. So. Yep. Has armor runes, so we'll be answering that. Yeah, so here, it looks like both teams. Looks like SanaPekora will be 5-manning invading topside, while be a 5-stack from the side of 2014.
Might catch out the Malphite here, but they don't really have a hook to go off of. Save.
Needs to start E if you want to.
Yeah, maybe the Scott Duck. Malphite definitely sees the incoming invade. Not gonna get baited into this one, as Danny's got just gonna Ult's up on the Alistair.
Yeah, Vale will be going for that ward, as well as the rest of the team actually invading the bot side now.
Yep. And all in all, the quiet 5-man invade, all things said and done. Looks like Bill
And
C-
we will be going for that fasting Senna here actually, so has the support item here.
More standard when you have Tom Kench on your team. Tom Kench does.
Yeah.
If you get early tank items on Tom Kench, can be a pretty scary lane opponent.
Oh, hello, bud.
And you're gonna both jungles on the red side of the map here, so gonna be going once again towards the opposite sides of the rift for Scuttle. Just no vertical jungling happening this time around. Quiet off it. I like Styles to play here. They're gonna position. They're trying to get Styles against Malphite. So 2014, they suspected that the Kled would try to match the Yasuo's. They put Malphite mid instead, and I like SanaPekora. They out 5-headed, and they're gonna keep Styles against Malphite.
Yeah, Styles still does have the armor runes though, so not ideal, but still a good matchup nonetheless.
Yeah, a bit of an aggressive early trade here. Bomb gonna detonate to about half his HP. Level 1, pretty strong here by Danny's God given the right conditions, so be careful. As does Watanabe as he gets 2 hit on him by Red.
Keep in mind that Yasuo does actually have Ignite rather than TP here, so will not be having that global pressure and not be very favored in terms of recall time potentially.
He's still gonna battle it out here in the middle lane. Yeah, this is one thing we also talk about.
Blue D.
Full range of the enemy jungle. He's gonna look for the kill in the corner. Flux has the ignite. No flash though. So corner gonna
Forced to flash out.
The potion is barely gonna keep him alive, and now the flap coming in. Lady.
Needs his gear.
So gonna pop Lady back towards Red. Already using E. No more reason for that. Ignite is down from Red. Did he go favor the Cupid? Red.
Team is here.
Reset. First blood eggs up going on to him. Uses
Triumph.
Triumph healing. Keeping Billy D alive. This world sees
walks into it.
Strike for Cornhole. Flunk off the back end. Ends up being a 1-for-1. Still, the kill onto the silo is such a big boon for SanaPekoraWatanabe. That Shaping going to be able to take over this game if allowed the opportunity. And now,
Yasuo is going back mid now, so.
Yeah, it's going to be Neith able to go back into the Kled. Yasuo gonna try to go for the reset here. Not sure. They might bring.
And he's got here looking for the Scuttle.
Yeah, they could look to fight this. Support is there. No bot lane support for Cornhole. Flunk has the speed, but the smoke grenade.
Phase Rush is catching up.
Phase Rush. Flash for Fnatic. Well done. Heal though. Gonna keep Cornhole a little bit longer. Sun does not hit. Good. Devour.
Devour. TP coming out now.
Yeah,
Yusa, I believe. Oh, Watanabe is here.
No, already disengaged. So good play to get out of that by Cornhole Flunk, and especially Aerosol Loomis.
Watanabe hasn't even based yet. He just TP'd directly from the tower. It looks like they would be reinitiating a lane swap though.
Yep, it does reinitiate the lane swap from all his losses. He's still not super happy in this matchup. Does not really want to build any magic lane. Red taking a little rougher trade.
I believe this is actually a very favorable matchup for the side of Kled.
Yeah, it's very favorable, especially early on. Yasuo has some options later where he can burst down Kled, but early on especially is very Yasuo favorite, or Kled favorite. Sorry.
Very difficult for
especially
Yasuo to do anything.
Might be looking for
Hex Flash.
yeah, Hex Flash up to Danny's God. Top lane really needs to turn out the top side vision. Wants to grab this Gromp here away from Portal Funk on second respawn. Continue to accelerate.
Just living in the jungle.
Yeah, just has the entire top side jungle to himself. That's one of the problems when you do have 2 losing lanes on 2014 is there's just no pressure to ever deal with that. And now, a bit of a interesting situation. I mean, it is about Utah's farm, but it is Billy D who has all of his bot side camps and most of his top side camps still available, so perfectly fine.
Billy D's here.
Yeah, good look at the game mid. Has the Q here from Red. Gets the flash
Oh,
through. Not be able to land
minions.
either with the wind wall. Well played by Red to get out of that one.
Minions blocking him, so could not get the last auto off.
Yeah. Still duking it out top lane, bot lane. Relatively even overall. Well done by Aerosol Loomis, actually keeping up very close to CS and Blitz, not losing too much HP.
Yeah, overall, I do believe that in this case, Senna Tompkins is farther ahead because of the Senna passive.
He's taking 6 here. This is gonna be, he needs to be very careful. Doesn't have the mana though, so does have to be a little bit one. Has
this gets
there, comes it in and finds the one shot. The unstoppable force comes through with the AP scaling, and that is a solo kill in the top lane for Amiusa. Flash still available on these two, so a little bit greedy on that one. A little bit greedy.
Probably couldn't react to it, honestly.
Probably, but
wasn't expecting it as my assumption.
yeah, the walk out of it just thought they were going to recall. As Vale gonna try to set up a freeze here, bot lane. And it will, I don't think freeze, I think they're one.
It's still pushes, still pushes.
So far, advantage still heavily over the side of SanaPekora so far. Ability getting leads in the jungle where he can. Big gold on Silas. I mean, you can be very strong this game. And
yes.
Still losing lanes pretty much across the board. Not helping much either.
Lines up on the dog.
Continue to go in on. Yeah, he can't fight more. Is a lot
Danny's God's here.
In mid lane though. Danny's got to get an insect back under turret. Good dash through, but the Q, the stun him
more.
up. The kill goes over to Danny's God.
Good roam.
With the roam. And once again, it is Hit is God showing why he is pretty much one of the, if not the best support currently performing in PSU LCS.
You should just recall here, actually. Rotan should just recall there and let the wave stay where it is because you can just come back to a. But shoving out is not bad either. We'll be able to get out of the tower.
They are going to manage to switch back here though. Yasuo heading towards top lane. Never mind. He's going to recall. Back to that decision. They're not going to do the reswap. Meanwhile, a successful gank off by SanaPekora without the jungler ever having to stop clearing his camps, or in this case, the enemy jungler's camps.
Yes.
So Gold
Danny basically doing Billy's job for him. No cap.
Why gank when you can have your support do it for you?
We'll go for all in here, but we'll be backing off.
Yeah,
just seeing the support. We'll be able to get us another tower.
Yep.
Unless they actually want to force this free here. Tompkins can do it.
Aerosol can't. With the free, he has a great health. He can just use it with damage, but
also has a Senna healing, so
yeah,
we'll be taking that freeze here.
So yeah, they can just freeze this lane and continue to get the Senna to scale up. Got farm as Red into trouble here potentially for coming up towards that middle lane. He's has to overextend here, which he most certainly is. And he's gone finally back.
That is.
Blood ult is very destroyed from the team that's supposed to be keep Red getting too far out of the way. Stun comes through Flick, the benefactor of the kill, and once again the overaggression of the mid laner. Accordingly by SPW.
The freeze was set up in the bot lane, but the rest of the map did not know that there was a roam gonna happen there. So basically, just not working together for the most part. The low team lullaby is not available just yet.
Meanwhile, Amiusa, I believe, is still having a freeze top lane, so more gold is going into the Silas pocket. 35 CS is all that Neatsk really has here. So once again, very, very behind on the tank top lane. And this will be the Dragon third up.
One time to call it here.
We'll all flash for
one more hit.
There it goes. Yep, finds it with the bust shot. As Neatsk gets in for Billy D. On top of Force already used Vale able to grab the kill.
It's a really bad fight here, I think.
That one, yeah. Red is here. Yolanami is off Carl, so he is a very vulnerable. There goes another kill on Senna. And now we're just 24 teams fighting back. A little bit of a interesting happy decision there from SanaPekora to allow that to occur. Grab a little bit of damage on turn as well. And a big kill is actually coming in for the Senna. One of the carries, one of the big damage dealers from 2014 getting some gold. So you do have that option becoming apparent. Senna does outrange pretty much, actually yeah, just does definitively outrange up until Tristan gets to very, very late stage of the game. Everyone on SanaPekora, so
even then,
to really do some poking fights.
If Senna goes for that rapid fire cannon,
yeah,
what's the outrage? Yeah.
so. Dragon secured for SanaPekora, 2k gold lead, and possibly for more. It's Cornell Clark in a bit of a
all the damage.
situation here. Yeah, controlling objective is really, you need the lane pressure, and you do not have it in either area. Emmyusa coming down the top line, 5 the Gone and the abduct and the kill.
So much damage.
Yep, killing spree for the Silas, 3-0, looking for that Everfrost. That is another GG. Thank you for the lead on the Riven Herald. And with all of
Back
that,
to invading.
another invade ability, just continually farming the top side camp. Eco's here to beat him this time around, and I'm not sure if the Grave is really
Not doing that much damage to. Not doing that much
Malphite
damage to the
very
Malphite though.
shaky boy, and Danny's God though does find his way on to Red's next blood. Does do this good for Gold to block, but it's 4-2, and Red fails the flash.
3-man.
Knockup grabs it, but doesn't really buy any extra time. The damage is there. Watanabe gets the kill, and it is another pick courtesy of Danny is God on the Alistair. That's probably mid lane turret as well, with only 3 plates remaining. Get this wave shoved in. Kled and Graves able to burn a little bit of the last plate down. Pop Herald, and that's his full plating under 14 minutes for the side of SanaPekoraWatanabe.
Time to look for all in. Don't lullaby.
Lullaby, but Coralcloak barely surviving, has to W away as Yo. He's very low. Red able to grab the kill with a tornado. And with that, just a little bit of an overstay mid lane there by the Kled. Needs still though, looking for more. The much of real Danny's God is much closer by to mid lane than he so often appears. Flish looking forward to the well potentially, but it is a Malphite, does have the unstoppable force, and you do still have to be careful.
Sana does want to take a recall here actually very soon because she will have that Dragon Slayer available on the space here. So
get these last few plates while they know Tristana is out of lane.
It'll be very powerful.
Yeah, Senna is very strong at the moment despite being fasting. Lots of play gold. Tom Kent also really tanky. Actually out farming 80 counterpart at the moment.
The Sun is actually only 600 gold down from the Tristana here.
Tristana's got 2 kills and a shutdown, so that can change really quickly. Now we see Red and Yo trading again in mid lane. Red has the Shepherd on to Yo Watanabe, and there's 2/3 of your health just gone.
So much damage.
Malphite
is here, looking for a play bot.
Dive. Teleport coming in as Emmyusa about a solo kill onto Red. Actually still gets the assist onto
He's actually just ulted in place rather than ulting away.
Dead. Blish goes on a killing spree, so it's still 2 for 0 so far as Blish comes over the sidewall looking for Aristotle Loomis.
Blish can just R for just a ult.
Emmyusa coming in with the Silas and with the Scuttle ult, but Danny's God as well. Grabbing one kill, the other tier reared by the Everfrost. Emmyusa finds another one, goes unstoppable.
Sickle mode.
Last one left. Blish not gonna grab it. Emmyusa going for 6-0.
Should live.
On the Silas lives as well. It is an absolute slaughter in favor of SanaPekoraWatanabe. The dive takes too long to set up for TFT. They are too far behind in gold and ends up being a 5.5k gold lead at 15 minutes in for SanaPekora. We haven't seen it in a while. It's been a few weeks, but this is the SanaPekora we remember.
Drafting Malphite Yasuo when Sauce is on table, especially considering that Sauce is actually one of Emmyusa's distinctive champions, is not great.
Certainly so. Now, it's going to be a really hard task for 2014 to start coming back in this game. You do still have Vale, who's going to be fairly strong in kind of transitioning into the mid game, but can you compete with the 3-0 Tristana and the 6-0 Silas? That's a question yet to be seen. Still don't have Grievous picked up despite seeing the shield bow on Graves as well. Silas existing in the game. Going to have a lot of time killing either of those champions, despite them, not just them being fed, but them also having absurd amount of getting Silas, especially with the
I mean, Malphite will want to get that Brambles. Same with Tompkins, probably.
Yep. It is taking Dragon for free. Not too much else for 2014 to really get up the back end of this one, as full vision control in the bot side jungle is over to SanaPekora. You have it all up past even the Raptor pit. Very advanced vision in this in. And Yo Watanabe does not care that he needs even exist anymore. So start proccing waves.
Yeah. Honestly, very good comp for Silas since Alistar actually has that knockup as well for Yasuo, as well as Tristana's Buster Shot.
Watanabe takes the damage. Possibly for the kill, maybe not knowing that Danny is God and Felicia are in the area. It finally gets spotted out. But going to seed the Waves top lane as well as the tier 1 turret. Not that big of a loss at this point in the gold difference. Now gold lead ballooning up to around 6,000. Now the turret is gone. Red next sludge. Up in the tower. Evolution might just go for the dive. Decides against it. Turret very low. Eventually goes to finish up. So another 2-2 down as Red looks to play, but Emma Yusei is there. Son of Deck not going to hit. Neither will the ult do much damage. And Aristotle gonna block most of the damage on that one. And with that, Baron up not even for another 3.5 minutes. Is really not too much for SanaPekora to get off the map with their current lead. So behooves 2014 to continue to sit back and base, continue to farm up and try to get more.
Yes. As the shield bow, all mythics are completed on the side of SanaPekora. However, still waiting for the Lilia mythic on the side of 2014 here, as well as the Malphite one. Malphite doing quite poorly here, 50 CS at 17 minutes. Really struggling in this game. Silas just exerting so much dominance in that matchup. However, Senna is very strong, but Silas should be able to do a lot against her. We'll have to see
Danny
how decided.
really wanted to go for that one.
Danny, this, of course. Always go in. Go with Watanabe here.
Yep, as always, he's also not having much damage. Yo Watanabe pretty dominant here in the Kled. Already has a Stride Breaker. 40 CS up over his direct lane.
Malphite basically has no armor at this point.
A sad, sad boy.
But one well-placed Malphite all with the Aswell can just turn the fight around. So to see how the game goes at that point, Lilting Loba is available. Oh, unstoppable.
Does burn the Kled ult as well as the
Pumpkinch. Abyssal Voyage.
Voyage is also used. Name remember. It's been a while since we've seen Pumpkinch.
Yes. The charge is on about a 2-minute cooldown, so it is quite a large cooldown burn. So we'll have to see how.
Timer Dragon does not the worst of things.
Oh, looks like we actually have the tier purchase coming out from Emiyusu here. Looks like he will be going for that Monomune Dark Tech on Silas. I'm excited to see how much damage it potentially does, because I have heard that it's very high damage build that just kind of destroys everyone, even though it is buying AD when on an AP champion.
Silas, you do get a lot of auto attack off with the amount of research you get, so.
Yeah, your passive auto attack ratio was actually just buffed like last patch or 2 patches ago, I believe.
Last patch, I believe.
Yeah, so it's actually very high value if you can get those 2 auto attacks off with your in your auto weaving like combo.
Yep. And with the continual harvesting of camps and turrets here by SanaPekoraWatanabe, their slow burn has increased their gold lead now to over 7,000. So
7,000 gold lead at 19?
Yep, that's
quite
pretty
unfortunate.
Unfortunate is a light term to put it if you're 2014er. Really do that. Maybe greeting for one too many.
Then he's God.
Danny is God here though to counteract. Right next one.
Wind wall. Very OP.
Aristotle loses, but there's quite a bit of damage. The Alistar Poppy ulti, but it's not gonna matter. Shutdown goes on top of Red. Still in the fight. Grabs the ulti on ability. The last breath will secure. TP's here from
Exhaust is out.
Has
a rocket job.
Down. Red grabs another uproot. Grabs as well the shield up, but now Yo Watanabe is one before the Kled off kilter.
A bit overzealous.
Well to Aristotle limits, and that is 3 kills over to 2014 for pretty much no reason other than they wanted to fight. That might be a 20-minute Baron for the side of 2014. Very much against the grain of this game.
Has a Malphite ult though.
Still has the top of 4th for him. He also has a Malphite ult himself. So this is
There's actually an opportunity here, I think.
The most dangerous game.
And to see if they decide to take this.
I think it's buying time for the rest of the team to get here. As
Malphite ult.
Finds 2 as well as Red Excel. He goes away. Finds all the on the book. Doesn't do too much damage. Quote unquote. The back line trying to do as much as he can. But Yuta slowly burning
healing
down.
a lot.
Pushes well down. Another kill, and it's 2 more shutdowns over to the side of 2014. Now the gold lead from almost 8,000 diminishes to just 3.
Yeah, just lost so many shutdowns. A lot of damage. Just find some marks to.
Now they go over the Regan. Watanabe does not find red. It's the back is completed. The break is available, and there's a ton of ults, a ton of summoners, and a ton of HP bars not at their optimal levels for There may be still points given freely over to the side of SanaPekora. We'll have to see. They're still going to look to contest. No
He's looking.
Yeah, Portal Funk is looking. Does grab tag, and all these swirling seeds when you
TP.
have the auto cover do so much damage.
He has another ult again.
Yeah, grabs the Yasuo, already looking for the knockup by Danny is God, and he's still in front of Artemis. Really needs getting first on the back line. The flank has been exposed. Knockup onto Emmy, who's a good Yasuo on Emmy, who's trying to get away, but he's down, he's gone. Aristotle, another kill, a killing spree as Red is still full HP in this fight. Switch falls as well. Yo, Watanabe, the last David still alive.
Watanabe's doing a lot of damage.
Red is the last man standing, has a red buff that is on Yasuo, has it doing off the shield though, grabs another knockup. Yodo still on Scarl, gets dismounted, has the W. Red on another jam, but it's the ace courtesy of Yo Watanabe, finds one more. And it was a close fight, but the ultimates weren't there, the health bars weren't there, and it ends up being SanaPekora to bring it back to the brink, and the Cloud Dragon is going to put them to soul point off of this one. Still,
Yo Watanabe just countering so much healing from the Yasuo there with the Plaid Q. But overall, very close fight, but now only a 5k gold lead.
Only at 22 minutes.
Yeah, but before it was 7k, right? So
7 almost 8, yeah. So it is infinitely better.
They're closing the gap.
Almost 100% better situation than you were just 4 minutes ago. However, still need quite a bit more time, and we're not SanaPekora fighting in 5v5 necessarily. A lot of
last one was just like a very
like
weird skirmish. Yeah.
So you might see a little bit of change here once we get back in 5v5. 5x5. It's ordering wood.
Yeah.
2x4.
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 You can actually see haze. Weird. You can't see haze in the client. It's weird in the replay client.
Yeah.
Very interesting. It has the CDR logo, but it's not showing the haste. Yeah. I just wanted to see how much haste Emiusa had here. It looks like he has 20 plus 20. 60 haste.
You still have a dominating unit of SanaPekora. It is certainly not out of your control just yet. Not even what I call even just yet. But you have to start looking, be careful now that you've lost a few fights, now that you've given back so much gold, so much pressure on the map. I do like what they're doing here on the Baron, though. They're going to do the Baron dance.
I mean, you can take a quick soul check. Senna has 105 souls. Very powerful.
Yeah.
105 souls at 24 minutes.
You're pretty cooking. You are cooking.
Yeah, she is at currently how much range? She is at 85% crit. With only a crit cloak and a Kraken Slayer essentially, and sitting at about 725 attack range. Yeah, when we get the eye edge, she will be incredibly powerful, and then she can start just going towards like cruiser items.
Yep. Baron dance here for now. Still 3 minutes till the soul comes up, and should see the contest from 2014 go. That do not want to get Cloud Soul over to a lot of people. A little bit unfortunate. A lot of pivotal ultimates on the side of SanaPekora. Over. Alistar as well as Kled. So we're still getting the Baron dance. Lilia has showed mid lane though on the recall, so could look to start this Baron here off the reset timing from 2014. Instead, just gonna continue to choke out vision, pick up waves where they can. Just gonna wait out. I think they're playing for soul, Devin. I think they're playing for soul.
No, playing for soul is probably the move here. Has a 3. 2 minutes left on the spine. I mean, playing for soul with a Kled, right? Like, Cloud Soul with Kled is incredibly huge.
They're not playing with soul anymore. And it is the reset command needs does have to teleport.
Oh!
Big unstoppable force on the 3 red next to left, not gonna be too long, but a good unstoppable force to counter. Portal Cloak everyone, another one coming.
That was untouched.
Gets one. Yeah, red is still alive. And it was Emiusa looking for the engage, and everyone from 2014 just survived off of Veil. I think getting like 15 healing off of you.
Yeah, and I mean, Watanabe wasn't in the fight. Like,
Oh, he does get tagged by Swift. That is so incredibly unlucky. Now he has to try to tighten away.
He is dead.
Yeah, going for it. He is dead to rights. The Devour comes in. There comes the exhaust. Needs to grab the kill. Eventually, finally goes over to Aerosol Loomis 4 and 2 on the top Kench. And that is Baron once again against the grain for 2014. As the gold almost evened by that play.
Yeah. Actually, I actually think that it's ahead for the side of SanaPekora if you consider the Senna scaling. I mean, homie's just sitting on like 40% crit for free. She's doing so much damage at this point. Actually, she's sitting on 50% crit at this point. Very, very powerful right now in her own right. Has the IE completed now. So, she is at 90% crit chance. She's gonna do so much damage in all these fights.
Yep, and Soul up in 36 seconds, so we are going to have the minuscule amounts of buff that come with Baron to damage and other base statistics onto 2014. They have been team fighting fairly well. Again, a lot of their successes come off short picks. Interesting to see, they have sent Blish top lane for the Soul spawn. So possibly looking to trade inhibitor for Drake here. Not necessarily the worst trade, but Nate still has TP, so this answer is not that big of a problem for 2014 to deal with.
They might not think that they can actually fight over it at this point, so they might just
not, but
be
again,
sitting.
I'm not seeing a good 5v5 out of this off for quite a while. So they're gonna grab the first pick for another Soul, delayed. Baron still on all members of 2014, so they're gonna try to pressure down. Have gotten the mid lane tier 1, so you're gonna be able to get a little bit more map pressure out of this one.
Yeah, this Senna just is so incredibly powerful at this point.
Juiced.
If you're just looking at the pure stats, I do believe that SanaPekora is actually behind at this point in terms of.
Yeah, Yusa has not been really that effective on the Silas in the last half of this game, so.
Yeah. Has not been able to do one shots.
We request by gated for Soul Check.
Soul Check? Soul Check is 125.
125, sir. 125.
He is at 100% crit now.
Yep. That is pretty beefy. With only 2 crit items.
Without ult. Charge.
Yo Watanabe on the Veil, but he can't find it now. Into trouble. Red doing a lot of damage. Burn there for the portal as well. Yo Watanabe all by his lonesome shutdown. Goes on to Veil of all things. An ill-fated engage. Maybe a bit too overzealous, a bit too in desperation by Yo Watanabe. And now the siege on the mid lane shall continue for 2014. Needs the unstoppable force is still available. Yusa does have the last breath, so needs a really good engage with Danny as God, who apart from the early game of the alpha hasn't really been able to get done against competition from 2014. As the Wombo combo is now fully unlocked.
Yeah. Seeing on that 2-item, Yasuo has both the shield blow, i.e. all the damage at this point, before which went to bot lane to catch that wave.
And for the first time this game as well, I'd like to note we do have a gold lead for 2014 at around a little bit over 1,000 gold, which isn't anything super insane at this point in the game by any stretch of the imagination, but is just to go to show that this team was almost 8,000 gold behind in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And now you're almost 2K ahead. Still, there's going to be some engagement here from SanaPekora. They want to defend this bot lane tier 2. Still got
honestly, would like to see Kled itemized towards Randuin.
Yeah, Randuin here would be really, really nice. He's going for gargoyles, I think, so.
Which is still okay, I'd say.
Gargoyles is fine. I don't mind the gargoyles.
Tom Kench pushing that Spear Visage. Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, give me that Spear Visage. Swogi healing quite a bit from that Senna.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. As well as his own gray health after in between fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Is he also, I believe, going for that death dance?
Yeah, that's a death dance for sure.
It's been so long.
I'd like to see.
I remember last season that item was like the most broken thing in the entirety of League of Legends, and now it's very conditional item. I forget the build path.
Now it's just you itemize against AD champions.
AD champions. The old death dance. In fact.
The OG.
The OG death dance. In any event, Get a bit of a lost state. Still a minute until we get the Baron, a minute until we get the Dragon. Not sure how. 2014 can play this two ways. I'll ask your opinion on it as well here, but do you go for Baron here, or do you just go for the Dragon Soul and leave the Baron up? Do you think that SanaPekora can burst down Baron? You want to deny the Soul, or how would 2014 play?
I think SanaPekora can bring down the Soul. They have 2 ADCs, as well as a Kled who actually does quite a bit of damage, to say the least. So I'd say just fight for the Soul. Just fight for the I think SanaPekora should just go for Soul, like straight up.
I want another Soul check.
Another Soul check, 144.
That's a lot of Souls. How much life steal you got?
This 8.75%.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Considering each auto attack is about like 300 damage. About 300 damage.
That's pretty good.
Getting about 30 health per auto, which is pretty good considering you're autoing quite a bit, and you're healing from your Q.
Yeah, and you also have the Q reset as well, which applies the on-hit effect, so you're just healing on that as well. So yeah, it's pretty solid. We are going to have the final fight here. 30 seconds until Drake spawns. Baron going to be on the map just beforehand, but yeah, it looks like this is probably the best move from SanaPekora. Just trade the Baron. Isn't soul point for your...
Don't think they'll be allowing that to happen, because they can just solo this Drake with Yasuo, really, if they wanted to.
Yeah, I'm just not sure if they want to leave the Yasuo for the fight. As Emiusa is going to grab...
They can actually solve pretty well with Sana, though. If they want to go for it, but they might just trade completely.
Yeah, it looks like they just might trade. Probably the best move that SanaPekora can make.
I mean, they can burn it pretty fast with Tristana, Graves. It's a lot of damage.
Trying to fight it. We're not going to go for the Soul Blade.
Yeah, no time. Don't have time.
700 health. He's playing down by Billy D. He's looking for the engage. Billy D, and then he's gone. Didn't get engaged with the headbutt. Miguel is there. Needs it all by himself. This is a very alone Malphite. The rest of the team's still in the pit. I'm not sure why they're just not doing the Soul at this point. Very quick resets, and now SanaPekora has an opportunity to contest Dragon Soul potentially. You have to deal with some super minions on their Nexus turn, so it's going to have to clear out the first Bear, not going to be a problem. And Dragon, I think, will be gone, as Yusa and Yo not going to TP there for the contest. So yeah, Dragon is secured. Could contest the TP, but... Or had access to.
Yeah, at this point, honestly, SanaPekora, it's really difficult. I don't really know what they can do. They just have to find a way to find a pick with Huddle. I think, or Sanas, Malphite, something like that. But because I don't think they actually, it's very easy to win a straight up 5v5 at this point for the side of SanaPekoraWatanabe. However, 2014 has a lot of options. Sena's doing a lot of AoE range damage. We have a fight here, breaking out. TP.
Emiusa as Yolazab is actually an inhibitor right now. There's a 4v5. They're going to go down. Hey, he's not going to grab a big knock, but there's nothing really that's off the back end of it. Bale grabs the kill.
Yolazab is still pushing.
Yeah, Yolazab can get an inhibitor, so relatively worth support for inhibitor.
Yeah,
I'd take those.
Very good call. Yeah, now the Whistle Void just coming out here.
Yeah, they gotta look for the pick. Flash with the go. He does have the ultimate as well, so just is gonna get away scot-free. Yeah, good play there by the side of SanaPekora.
I think just splitting it up and having someone side lane try to get objectives on the side lane rather than trying to go for straight 5v5 is the ideal play here. Right now, again. Tristana still has the same turret taking, right? So, you can play after that.
Yeah, very good job by SanaPekora getting a lot of gold off the map. Just about over 1,000k gold advantage.
Malphite Bumby looking here has the unstoppable force.
I'm not sure if he is red there as well. Yolazab still has TP, so this could turn into a 3 very quickly. As regular blocking shots, there comes the unstoppable force. Yo not going to be levered. His speed grabbing the kill as he's still pushing out the mid lane. It's forward bot lane from Cora is top 10. He's going to have to clear out all of these creeps. I'm sure he can complain too much. Back into a little bit of lull state now. Still, again, 2 minutes and 3.5 minutes on a big objective. So, time. I'm not sure for the inhibitor. I don't think the inhibitor will be back up to Dragon spawn. I might be wrong there. Everyone just trying to get some gold. Silas still does not have the mirror mana, so still sitting on that mana name at the moment. We have a soul check by Cake.
158.
158, so that is your soul check. Brought to you by...
Brought to you by Penn State League of
Yeah,
Legends.
brought to you by Penn State League of Legends.
161 now. 162. 200 range. 200 extra range.
Nuts. That is pretty insane.
Sitting on about 14% lifesteal now, so quite a bit.
Pretty much a half a lane of auto attack range.
Yeah, no one can really touch her. It's really just up to Silas trying to one-shot her at this point, honestly.
Yusa with Malphite ulti.
Yeah, it's just up to Silas to try to one-shot.
You're ordaining with a 6-point like in game.
Yeah.
So
but even that is very difficult considering how far away Sonic can actually position from anything.
Yep. Now we got red.
Good head ult.
We'll just dash away all. Here, but that's going to mean that mid lane is going to pressure beautiful Nakamura as they're pushing Tristan out into the turn. Probably going away. The Veil just cleaning up minions here. They'll move turn. Maybe a second inhibitor as well. Very slow to 20. That auto attack range though. Yo, fight with red.
On shadow.
Yo, with it. Send an ulti to buy some time. Full red.
He'll be remounting soon, maybe. Oh, so close.
Will not happen. Red.
Very close.
Also gonna grab the kill. Red 63 seconds. Kill Drake's spawn, so Flood gonna be up just before that happens.
Will the Dawn Shadow be a bite then? Let me see. 96 seconds.
No.
Probably not, but if they stall, they can have it up.
I don't think they really want to stall though, that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna just want to burn that down before Flood comes up.
However, the last breath is still up. The last breath already came back up, so.
Yeah. Last breath is like a negligible cooldown at rank 1. It's
20
rank
seconds.
3 now, so. Still have here with the teleport, so can't top lane away before Drake spawn. Drake's coming up right now. Red to clear out the mid lane. They're just gonna look for the pick onto Neatsk actually. Neatsk has the ultimate, but Emiusa has his ultimate as well. There comes the move, there comes the knock up again. Neatsk grabs an ulti, but he is dead to the right for this kill. Now they're gonna have to try to secure the base. It looks like they might want to base race this one before they can recall. But the dragon
right now has
no time to really do so.
Oh, this alarm is going off,
My
Capo.
alarm.
Looking for this mid inhib here. It was very strong. Be able to can win this fight if they want to commit. Good splash out from Veil. Fish doing a lot of damage now.
Emiusa grabbing the kill, but carries for Floyd Martinez down. This might just be the game.
This game.
Right. Emiusa triple kill, looking for Quadra on the red, grabs it. Quadra kill from the Silas. The team fight finally happened. Ace for SanaPekora. Malphite up in 3 seconds, and that might be the game. Glitch still alive as well on Sean to burn up the church. Malphite up as well. Unstoppable Force going to be up here just a little bit of time. Going to have to try to stall as long as he can. Using to grab the other two. Glitch doesn't go into the tower. It's going very low. This Buster Shot does get them out by way, but now Sonic is down. Needs to stall it more and more time. Gargoyle's going to pop, but still 17 seconds from anyone else. The GG is there, and SanaPekora. It was not a clean one by any stretch of the imagination, but they do manage to secure the win 2-0 over 2014. That was an interesting end game, for sure. A little bit of a meme, in fact, of an end game.
Yeah, just Neatsk got cut out at the end, and
Expected them to catch the dragon, didn't want to. Yeah, that is quite.
It's been it seemed like a miscommunication on the sides, almost. Very unfortunate.
Yep. All right. Well, anyone has interviews before we start talking about stuff? Yep, we got Peter already in Team 1 chat, so we'll grab him over here. Emiusa in the chat. Welcome, Emiusa.
Hello.
I'm gonna call you Peter for the rest of this interview to secure my sanity.
That's fine. Yeah.
But good games, taking the 2-0 today. Not gonna say it was the cleanest 2-0 I've ever seen, but making it happen, and that's what counts.
It could have been if Devin didn't tell me to build Metamune, I think. You're spying, I think. You're an imposter.
Wait, I didn't know. I didn't even know if it was good or bad. Like,
bro, it was so bad.
You actually think it's terrible?
Ulted
like...
in, and I forgot I don't have Zanya, so I was like,
Uh,
oh, this does not look good.
Unlucky.
Yeah, don't build Metamune, I think.
Yeah, I was just
Good
curious.
bet.
It's okay. You testing it for me. Respect.
Alright. That was worth the test though.
Yeah. So actually, I have one question about the early game lane swap. So was that like just planning draft, or did you guys just decide to do it? Because it looks like you were taking armor runes actually, expecting to go up against
Well,
Yasuo here.
so at first we are trying to go against Yasuo mid versus Silas, but then we called for lane swap, right? But then I took armor rune just in case if top lane didn't go well, so I can switch over to fighting Yasuo. And Silas always have a high base MR, so you don't have to take that MR rune, so you can always fight against Malphite even without
Makes
any kind of
sense.
armor rune or MR rune. Yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, I was just wondering if it was premeditated or did you have
it
anything
is.
like
Yeah.
that. So
All right, so we're gonna talk a little more about game two here, I think, than game one, because game one, bit of a stomp, bit of a one-sided affair. But so game two, you guys were up almost 8,000 gold at 15 minutes.
Yep.
Very dominant lead. What happened? What what was going through the comms? What was going through your guys' head? Is it seemed to be slipping away there for most of the late game?
I was trying out the 2014, or I guess the Veils tech, which is the freeze against the enemy for about 20 minutes or 10 minutes. Did give me a lot of lead. However, I think we had a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of fight. Nis kind of ditched the lane and helped them out. So I think that way he compensated for lane losing. So I think it's really smart. And that's why we were slowly getting caught up. And then I built Nanamune instead of Zanya. So I went in thinking I have Zanya, and then I died, resulting in a lot of shutdowns, and I think that basically got us into really weird situation in late game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might just it's might not even necessarily be that Monomoon is necessarily worse. It's more that you're just probably not used to the different playstyle. But I think in this game, hard
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want Zanya to engage.
I'm very used to Zanya playstyle Salas, not
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
poke
It's probably just
Salas.
a
Yeah,
different like playstyle almost.
yeah, I
Where
think
you,
so.
yeah. So may need a bit more testing in the lab.
Back
Maybe.
to the lab again. Captain W
Alright.
memes.
All right. Other than that, that's pretty much all from me today. How many? What other games do you have left, by the way, for
I have
you?
no idea.
Let's
We'll
take a
ask
look.
Danny
This
about
this is
that.
not the captain, El Capital.
I
Oh,
mean, I
let's.
used to be.
And then you said make Danny. So you have
No.
Monkey Meta, PP Poop, 5-inch Girth Gods, and Silver Guardians left so
I
far.
see.
Yep. So
The Silver Guardians, I mean the 5-inch Girth God games will be quite a banger, so I'm excited to see that game in the
All
future.
right.
All right.
quite a banger indeed. Yep. Thank you for joining us here tonight, Peter. Again, congratulations on the 2-0. Well played games, and we'll see you against 5 inches
Thank
soon
you.
enough for what should be a banger. All right. Well, that's it for us here on this stream. We're gonna be back here in around an hour, a little bit less now. I'm not sure if anyone else is playing, but I know Team Miku is facing off against Universe tonight.
Oh, that'll be
So
exciting.
that will be should be a pretty solid game. Miku, of course, going 1-1 in their game earlier Friday evening against Coach Cap. So looking to continue their triumph. And Universe, of course, still going to keep the top of the standings. So we'll see you guys back there in about an hour for that cast. In the meantime, we'll catch you back on the Rift. Peace.
Peace.